Introducing who you brought in and then making an opening statement, and then we'll go to questions.
Okay, we have Abby Toe, Ayla Ray, and Sydney Watts with us, and wow, what a performance the entire team did today. What can you say that this team just accesses new gears when new challenges are presented to them? We're very thankful to get to play in front of our community members, family, and teachers and staff were all there. We saw so many administrators come out. Everybody is softball crazy in Austintown to support these young ladies, and wow, do they show up and show out.
Sid, at what point did you know what you were doing was special out there in the circle?
I knew. It was the bottom of the fourth. I knew. I knew the whole game what was going on. But when Lexi said it out loud, I was like, Lexi, shut up! And please do not jinx me. But I was like kind of shaking the last inning because I was kind of nervous. But
did you hear them announce it afterwards?
Yeah, I
and
did.
How did that feel?
I almost started crying.
Steve, I mean, this has been kind of a calling card for you guys, I feel like, dating back to last season, in that you guys might have maybe, quote unquote, a slow start, but you guys have a tendency to chip away and, as you've always said, make adjustments based on what you guys are seeing from the pitcher. And obviously that very much transpired today with, just one run through the third inning and then through the first 3 innings, and then 9 runs there in the bottom of the fourth. I mean, can you just kind of elaborate just on how you guys were able to kind of build on what you saw early to kind of explode there in that 4th inning?
Well, it's something that started a long time ago with these players. They played with each other for over 10 years now, so they have the intuition with each other, their communication, their in-game adjustments, and that is, honestly, I think this is one of the highest softball IQ teams I've ever seen, not just coached, but ever seen. They nonstop communicate, they nonstop tell each other what's going on, what they're seeing, how to adjust, and it's amazing to see them take ownership. And that is the big word for me during this playoffs, and honestly this whole year was we wanted them to have ownership of the team. I always say I manage the team. These are the ones, these players go out there and play and make their adjustments, and it's amazing to watch them and just own the game.
Okay, just for all three of you, kind of a follow-up. What was the difference for you guys in that 4th inning that you saw at the plate that you were able to take advantage of that maybe you weren't able to capitalize on it maybe earlier in the game?
We knew what she was pitching, we knew her speed, we stayed back on it, and we just launched.
Yeah, I feel like we were early on it, and that was like just something we were relaying throughout the dugout was we need to stay back, and that's what we did. We started hitting the ball.
So your last game was against Walsh and Natalie Sousa, who throws heat. How difficult is it then? No disrespect to her, but when you come out and somebody's not throwing that hard, with some of the pitchers you guys have seen this year, how hard is it to step back? Because your first at bat, you kind of jumped at that ball like you were trying to hit it a mile.
Yeah.
And it felt like you kind of rushed it a little bit. So how difficult was that for you guys at the beginning?
I think just in-game adjustments. We all know we have to make the adjustment that's best for the team, and that's what we did today.
Abby, you got the team rolling in that first inning too, getting that first run on the board. Overran that third base back a little bit too. Talk about the conversation with Coach Ward after that too, and what it was like in the dugout.
Well, I cussed a little bit, but I didn't talk to Ward. I didn't talk to Ward after that. I just walked away, and then I took a minute to myself because that's what everyone needs. So I took a minute to myself to adjust. It was fine, and I went back out there and played.
Same thing, I talked to her after half inning pass and just said, hey, we'll adjust. Abby's not somebody to get shaken in a game at all, and she's resilient. So I knew at that moment that play was over and done, and she's locking it in.
Coach, quick question to you too, real quick. 995 fielding percentage, only 3 errors amongst this defense all year long, and I think it's one of the unsung things. Credit to them and what they've done. Talk about how the defense intensity is kicked up during the playoffs and how they're able to back sit up in the circle.
Well, I think sometimes it's easy to go into autopilot with Sydney in the circle, and any opportunity they get, they want to shine in their moment, and so they just stay locked in, ready, and you see us make some amazing plays because this team is all in for each other. They don't care who does it as long as we do it, so if they get an opportunity to make a play to further advance the team, they're not missing that opportunity.
Speaking of defense, Sydney, when was the last time you made that many plays defensively coming out of the circle?
I always said I'm a good fielder. I used to play third base, and obviously now I don't really play that much because I pitch mainly. But growing up, I my dad always held practices where I did fielding practices, so I'm used to fielding the ball. I mean, it's kind of the thing, like, there's nobody there, I'm gonna take charge and make the outs.
Taylor, what was kind of your reaction when that deep to center field was rolled around to a double instead of being a home run?
Yeah, I mean, I seen it off the bat. I felt good off the bat, but I thought it was over. But I guess
It looked similar to your home run from last
That's what I
season,
was-
deep to center field.
Yeah, same spot. That's kind of my spot, I
It
guess.
did bounce.
It was over.
No, it didn't. It did bounce.
How was it gonna?
It bounced. Believe me, I watched it and had video of it. It bounced.
I just
Hey,
The video lies, right?
I'll delete
You edited the video.
I'll delete it.
Ayla, you and I have talked all season long too, and especially in the playoffs about you don't want this next at bat to be your last at bat. You're fighting for every at bat you get. You now know that this next game, it's guaranteed to happen no matter which way you slice it, cut it. Not that your approach changes though, but where is your feeling? Where is your mindset knowing that you've battled so hard to get that next game, that next at bat, but knowing that you only have a limited number left?
Yeah, it's bittersweet knowing that this is gonna be my last game tomorrow, but I'm just gonna keep going into every at bat, doing whatever is best for my team, and just whoever does it does.
Steve, so we've talked over the last couple of years, and you just keep telling me you've run out of words to talk about 5 over here. That performance she just put in, I don't care if it's 5 innings, 7 innings, it's a perfect game in the state semifinals. Can you just what was your thoughts on what she just did?
Again, and Sid, she doesn't back down in big moments, and the bigger the moment, and that's everyone on this team. They want to play in front of these crowds. They want to have that energy. They want to have that momentum, and it starts with Sydney in the circle, and it ends with these girls batting. And to see that happen, it's just we have great synergy on this team, and they feed off of one another. And Sydney's a catalyst.
Sydney no-hitter in the state semi last year. Perfect game in the semi this year. How does it feel to throw 2 no-hitters here at Firestone Stadium?
I threw a no-hitter last year. I just had to make it better this year. I'm kidding. But, I was just doing I was trying to keep my pitch count down because I knew we were going to play tomorrow. And I couldn't walk a batter. That was my thing on going to this game. Don't walk batters, don't get the pitch counts up. And my pitches were all there today, and it just worked.
What is it about those Mahoning Valley pitchers today?
I don't know. It just shows the talent we have locally.
Steve, speaking of local, this has really been a banner year just for the Valley in terms of softball with, the North, with 4 area local teams in the Mahoning Valley sweeping the Northeast Regional for all 4 divisions. Matthews, you guys, Canfield, and South Range, and now 3 of you are playing for state titles tomorrow. I mean, what does that just say about just the talent that you guys have, that we have in the Valley in general?
It's an amazing testament to how hard these players work, and they work year round. They don't take breaks. They don't ever stop pushing themselves and pushing each other. So when you look in our Valley, you see so many kids that are teammates with each other in the summertime, and I guarantee that attitude of, we're just going to keep pushing and keep getting better, access new layers, that just goes throughout our whole Valley. And it's amazing to see. It's amazing to see how much all the communities support each other, how much the coaches support each other and the other players. So it's an amazing time.
Coach, what was the ruling on the one play where they took the out away from you? The end of the ground ball to third, the end of the inning. What was
Illegal pitch.
illegal pitch? Okay.
Yeah, the mound was really, it's really it's in the ground, so it's really kind of hard to push off. And I guess my foot was slipping a little bit, but.
Sid, in my first interview with you back in March, you mentioned how the goal was getting back to states, and you were every bit as confident. You guys were getting right back to this level. How difficult was it over the course of a regular season to not, keep sight of that too, but not ever overlook any one opponent? You guys come in with a 21-1 record.
It's just we have to play like we know how, no matter who the competition is, and if we play like that, it just makes us better for these games.
Sydney, I'm from Cincinnati, so I don't see you guys play ever. Was today just another day at the office in terms of the way you were throwing? Is it a typical day, or were you better today than normal?
Typical.
I'd say that.
Yeah.
Where do you rank this performance amongst other ones that you've had?
1. I think it's 1. I mean, like you said, it's 5 innings, but just to be able to do it during the state tournament, the feelings, the emotions, being able to do it for my team, it felt great.
I want to go back to the first inning.
Okay.
There was a pitch that you thought was a strike. He didn't think it was a strike, so he calls it a ball. You backed off the mound, and you composed yourself. I would be willing to say that even as early as mid last season, Sydney Watts doesn't compose herself as quickly. What was it about the maturity that you've kind of gained the last year and a half that allowed you to just kind of put that pitch behind you and go out and continue what you were doing?
Like I said, it's just I knew I needed to keep my pitch counts down throughout the game and working on just like if something goes wrong, just being able to dial back in and get the next play, get the next out, get the next pitch. It's just always about what's coming next, not about what happened in the past.
Also, I know that you showed a little emotion last week on a pitch that was similar.
Yeah.
What lessons do you learn from a game like that you took forward to today, because it was a totally different reaction?
Like I said, I feel like last week you saw it. Me getting worked up didn't work out good, so I had to just compose myself, and then the pitches after that, it was better.
Coach Ward, this is a community that has been clamoring for a winner in team sports for a while. You guys were able to give it to them last year. Compare that run to this run. What are the unique challenges this year too? And did it present as a more challenging time getting back here than it did winning the whole thing the first time around?
I wouldn't say it was more challenging. I'd say there was different challenges. And the challenges, we knew that last year, I don't want to say we snuck up on people because, we were the regional finalists the previous year. And so, but for people to look at this team, I don't think they expected last year us to be there. We did, and they didn't. And so this year now, kind of everybody knew we had a lot of returning players, and we knew we were going to take everybody's best shot. And everybody gave us their best shot, and the challenge was, ladies, you got to rise up time and time again. There are no off days for us, and that's why, one thing we truly believe in our routines, and it really serves our players well.
You got a regional game where you're testing a little bit. Do you guys feel even stronger after that?
Absolutely. Anytime that you can develop a little bit of grit and be in situations that you can't really manufacture in practice with the crowd, the emotions and everything, and for these players to stay steady and just be themselves, keep chipping away, and we knew we were going to break through sooner or later.
Coach, I saw you nod your head a little bit when Sydney was talking about the maturity. What have you noticed in her since even the beginning of last year?
Well, that's the thing, and you look at all of these players here, they're a year older, they're a year wiser, and so was that one of the challenges that we were looking forward to this year, to see how much we can mature as a team and as individuals? Absolutely, and they did, and again, they put in the mental work as well as the physical work, so I'm extremely proud of all of them.
Does she have all of your decisions, or have you used any other pitchers?
We use Vita Kelly sometimes throughout the season, that she would come in, but when you have such a dominant force as Sydney, it's kind of hard to take her out.
So she's got everything, decision-wise.
What do you mean decision-wise?
Her record, her pitching record.
No, she has one of the wins isn't hers.
So you guys are 22-1, and she
No,
is.
she has all of
She has
them.
all of them?
Yeah, she has all of them.
So she's 22-1.
Yes.
That was wrong then.
Okay.
That was last year.
Yeah, that's right. I had to pull that up.
Coach, you talk about constantly challenging these girls, and they live up to it and pass it with flying colors. What more left can you challenge them with? One game left in the season.
They challenge themselves. Again, they set such a high standard for themselves that I don't feel it's up to me to challenge them. They know what they want to accomplish. Again, it comes down to ownership. They own this team, and they own where they want to go. And we love seeing that as a coaching staff. And maybe you have some other staffs that have to be involved in everything. Hey, look, go do your thing. If you see something, do it. We give them that much ownership because they're that level of athletes.
Obviously, we talked a little bit about during basketball season playing with your sister. Tomorrow, you talk about being your last game. It's also going to be the last time you get to play with her. What's that kind of feel like, and what's that conversation tonight?
Yeah, again, it's bittersweet, but having the opportunity to play with her is great. I mean, can't say much about it. Jeez. Yeah, I'm grateful.
Guys, thank you.
Thank
We
you.
will-
Thank you.
we will